Thank you so much for stopping in. Uh, I asked a question for this channeling. The question I asked is, do we have other full-time lives in different dimensions? This is the channeling I received for you regarding that question. Some people spend a great deal of time in one of their other dimensions. It is determined by the need to consolidate time to achieve the learnings. For some humans, it can become, such a distraction, a willing distraction, because they like being in another one of their dimensions. They like it so much that a person will intentionally avoid the physical reality in which the learning at the dimensional level is solidified into learning. So, your primary place, where we are right now, they um, intentionally avoid where we consolidate our learning. If you haven't listened to some of the previous uh, topic on the channelings on this topic, you go back and listen to them, because I mean it's any one of the previous ones from this one. But we have a primary dimension that we learn on. This is mine, where I'm talking to you. This is my primary, not where I channel into, but where I learn, where I solidify my learning that I learn in other different dimensions and other places that I go. I'm in physical or I'm in light form. Okay. So if you haven't listened to the ones before. So anyway, some people intentionally avoid the physical reality, this where I am right now, you are right now, in which the learning at the dimensional level is solidified into learning. You do activate learning through other dimensions into physical. Physical is where your learning is absorbed and learned from. That is why you chose to be physical. To stay in another dimension too long only delays the learning activation, but does not alter any of the learning lessons. So you're good, but sometimes you think, I live in two different places. And you really are, kind of. So I'm going to continue. Uh, but it does not alter any of the learned lessons. Not all lessons are created in your interdimensional layers either, just some learnings. And others accidentally situate themselves in another dimension without fully knowing, not consciously knowing that they have accidentally immersed their physical soul body in a different dimension. This brings up another state of being, which many times creates the illusion of missing time. Okay, there's a lot of different parts in this. You are a physical being. You are physical, holding your soul light body. Your choice to be physical upon the earth realm is vital to your soul path. You choose the physical path and you stay in a primarily physical state. You do not have full-time lives in different dimensional levels. They are temporary for particular reasons, as we have told you before. Each person has their own specific path. Therefore, the information that we transmit are many times in general. However, you can take this information, the information we give you, and apply it to your own specific details. For instance, if you have, in quotes, lost time, consider that you may have accidentally situated yourself in one of your other dimensional levels. If you feel like you have been dazed and confused, in a dazed, confused like, or dreamy state, let me say that again. If you feel like you have been in a dazed, confused like or dreamy state, consider that you may have intentionally stayed in one of your dimensional levels for longer than necessary because you really liked it. Interdimensional activities does not need to be as complicated as humanity, the spiritual community, likes to make it appear. If you, as an individual, remember that you have many dimension levels and also have the ability to add or subtract levels as you ascend, and that you move in and out of dimensions all the time, it will no longer be confusing to you. It is your own unique path of accomplishments that generates how you interact with your own dimensions. Okay, that's it. That's where it ended. It's conceptual, everybody. You guys, it's conceptual. We have always been taught to stand, not look at ourselves. We think we experience outside, out from our bodies. We think we experience out there, but most of our experience is internal. And so if we're not going into someone else's dimension, we're not going into another dimension because somebody else says that you can go into another dimension. You're not going into other dimensions of somebody else's dimensions. No, you're going into your own. You have many dimensions that you learn many different things. And then you learn them someplace, you learn them in a different dimension. You come back to where you are today in this current, the one that you're listening to this message in, this dimensional, your dimensional level that you're hearing this message in, and you rearrange or you absorb. Oh, they told us about that. You absorb your learnings. You absorb the learnings that you do in other dimensions in this level that you're at listening to me. So it's not somebody else's, it's yours, it's your dimensions. It should not be a fearful thing. And they said it's not as complicated as everyone tries to make it. And how cool is it that you have many, many dimensions, that you learn many, many different things, because that is how you've designed this life. Physical life is a very important state for us because we chose to be physical on the earth realm. We chose to do this. And now we need to understand that really understand that we are not just physical, but we're the light within our soul body light also has, it goes and has experiences for this particular physical life. Our soul light body has different experiences for us because it's our soul in different dimensions, but they're our dimensions. That's not somebody else's. And sometimes you just really like being someplace else and you lost time and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I was abducted, or, oh my gosh, it's a bad thing, when really you just really enjoyed being in a different dimension and you stayed there. And it's not harmful to you. And you still learn, even though you stayed there too long because you liked it long. It may delay it a little bit, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change what you learned and how you bring it into your current physical life and make it that completeness that you want, because you're experiencing in different levels of dimension. You still collate it if you stay someplace too long, or if you just experience it, come right back, but you collate it into your physical current body that you're listening to me with this video on. That was a really neat message. So, but also it also says that sometimes you accidentally situate yourself in another dimension, but you're still learning from it. And you can call it missing time if you want to call it missing time, but it should not be dramatic. It should not be tragic. It shouldn't be traumatic. It's yours. So you would not, you learn different things, but you wouldn't put yourself into a dimension that intentionally put you in a dimension that traumatizes you. Just remember that you know that you take care of yourself when you're designing your plan. Okay, that's it. Thank you for being here, and please stay tuned because there is a lot more to come.